Down, Part 66, Jana, the Storm's Fury.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another
I don't know, man. She doesn't feel very furious to me, just annoying as fuck.
lore of League of Legends. We've had some rather surprising weather patterns at the moment, and this next champion will provide us with nothing different.
God.
Without too much of an introduction, I present to you the lore of Jana, the Storm's
Jana.
Fury. Enjoy. Jana now resides herself in the clean, friendly city of Piltover, but it wasn't always such. She was an orphan in the slums of Zorn. Abandoned by her parents, she had to care for herself through any means that allowed her to survive. Usually her wits were enough to get her out of trouble and provide her with the necessary resources. But on other occasions, she had to resort to stealing food from market stalls so as not to starve. She was always trying to make the most out of her current situation, no matter how terrible it seemed. But growing up in the slums of Zorn was not easy. It was a place where literally...
You wouldn't even think she's from Zon. I mean, look at her. This bitch is a fucking goddess, okay? Like, if she had an Instagram page, she would have the most followers in the world, okay? Let's be real here for a second.
anything and everything could happen. A mixture of failed chemical concoctions, magical experiments, and hex-tech devices were regularly dumped into the slums, which often resulted in unstable storms of magic and events that could be considered...
I mean, come on. No. That's OnlyFans worthy, you know? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, look at it. You know.
unusual. In any other place, they would be considered
I
strange.
might need to go on like a 20-minute-ish break right after this champion, if you know what I'm saying.
In Zorn slums, it was everyday life. Jana had been growing up watching it for years. But while watching all the mysterious actions happen, Jana had become lured by power and potential of magic. She could see all the different results that could come when left to itself. She hoped that mastering the arts of magic would allow her to improve her life and become something more than one of the many orphans that graced the slums. She then dedicated her whole life to the mastery of magic, and even though she could get no formal education on her own, she was doing her best to ban wild magic into submitting to her. As it turns out, Jana had a natural affinity for a particular type of magic, the elemental power of air. Without any teachers, but more the teachings of old books and her instincts, she'd mastered air magic in a matter of months. It was almost as if it was completely natural to her, proving that she was something more than just a simple orphan craving the ability to cast spells. She's been accepted as a student by many masters of magic since, but not everyone could help her advance further along than she already was.
Okay.
As her powers grew, Jana's outer look was changing as well. She went from a street vagrant to an avatar of air within a couple of months. She was no longer a dirty girl from the streets, and now seemed to be floating in the air as she moved, with a warm breeze flowing wherever she went. Her hair never seemed to be still, just like her clothes. They always waved, no matter whether she was outside or in. As Jana advanced through the social ranks, she eventually left Zorn and moved to the Institute of War. She never forgot that the toxic, waste-filled slums of Zorn were her inspiration to try magic in the first place. But she also knew how dangerous life was due to the pollution. She still remembers how many of her friends weren't fortunate enough to
How's this skin? Why is she touching the floor? It's beneath her.
survive into adulthood. She's reached out to the League, becoming one of their champions, and soon started using her position to start a debate about the regulation of magical experimentation and supporting techmaturgy as a much clearer way of development when compared to the aggressive hex tech. In other words, she is intentionally supporting the views of Piltover and was soon invited into the city due to the common goals she shared with the government of the city-state. Jana has been...
That's some thick thighs, bro. This girl squats.
become one of the league's most popular champions since she was first introduced,
Oh,
and
God.
often visits all sorts of events, often organised by the league itself, where people all across Valoran can meet their idols in person. Her unique ethereal beauty makes her especially popular amongst
Oh, yeah.
male fans.
Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of dudes out there with Janna action figures at home, you know?
But there's also something untouchable about Janna.
Oh.
Many are afraid, but she can be appreciated from a distance.
Oh, yeah.
Upon closer contact, though, she could just disperse like a fog, or turn into a deadly hurricane.
I mean... the ending there's, I guess it's a nice personal touch. Like, I doubt that was anywhere in the script, but, in her story, but, okay, another child that grew into being special, I guess, and at this point, why am I even surprised? Alright, that's the Janna stuff. Yeah, we're gonna go to the next one, and next one is... Wow, that's a very old champion. Fiddlesticks. Let's see what that's about.